What's up, guys? You're watching Everything Weapons. Welcome back to the channel, my fellow Americans. A little bit of news in terms of our own military here in America. The United States Marine Corps just took delivery of its last MV-22 Osprey. The MV-22s, which were first operational in 2007, are expected to keep flying until 2055, which is pretty insane how long the Osprey's service will be. This is from the War Zone, 2 decades after the Tiltrotor MV-22B Osprey first achieved initial operational capability. The U.S. Marine Corps on Tuesday received its final delivery of these controversial aircraft, closing the books at 359 of them. While the Osprey fleet is expected to keep flying until through 2055, the Corps is eyeing a replacement dubbed the Next Generation Assault Support Aircraft, or NGAS for short, developed to bridge the gap between rotary wing and fixed wing capabilities. The MV-22B Osprey combines the vertical takeoff and landing of a helicopter with the speed and range of a fixed wing airplane. After first entering service in 2007, the MV-22B became the backbone of the Marine Combat Air Assault capability, primarily replacing the CH-46 Frog. The self-deployable tiltrotors, able to fly themselves around the globe, vastly outrange and outpace any other rotary wing aircraft the Corps has to offer. They can also land on ships and in tight locations that are difficult to get to that fixed-wing transport aircraft can't get to. This unique mix of capabilities has altered how the U.S. Marine Corps does business and opened up a new tactical opportunity for different things, right? So the MV-22B didn't just join our fleet, they say. This is a quote: "It fundamentally changed the way the Marine Air Ground Task Force generates combat power," said Lieutenant General William Swan, deputy combatant for aviation. Quote, "It provides commanders with decision space that only speed and reach can provide, connecting ships, bases, and distributed forces in ways previous generations could only imagine. Today, Marine commanders build operations around the assumption that the MV-22B will be there." That's how much of a backbone it is for the American Marines, right? The Marine Corps MV-22B fleet, quote, "has flown more than 686,500 hours across 114 operational deployments," the service said in its announcement of the final delivery. This versatile platform supports combat operations, contested logistics, medical evacuations, and humanitarian assistance from forward deployed locations around the globe. Today, the Osprey sources 75% of all Marine Corps rotary wing assault support. This unmatched operational tempo underscores the success of the Joint Acquisition Program as it reaches its final delivery. However, the success of the Osprey has come at a cost. As of July 2025, last year, 65 military personnel and civilians have died in mishaps involving V-22 aircraft, according to the Congressional Research Service, CRS. So it looks like they're not as reliable and crashed more than we thought they would, right? That figure includes 30 fatalities before 2007, when the aircraft was declared ready for initial operations, and 35 after 2007. Since 2022, V-22s have experienced 4 fatal mishaps that killed 20 service members and injured another 20 people. There have been limitations imposed on Osprey operations, and the fleet faced notably increased scrutiny following a 3-month-long grounding in 2024, prompted by a fatal crash. Someone died, right, of a U.S. Air Force V-22 off the coast of Japan on November 29th of 2023. With the delivery of the final Osprey, the Marine Corps is now shifting from fielding these aircraft to sustaining and evolving the fleet for decades to come in the future, right? This is a plan that is Crazy. 2055, that's insane. I would be 55 years old. Nuts that the service is going to go that long, but makes sense. To keep the MV-22B operational through until 2055, the Corps is focused on improving nacelle wiring to reduce maintenance hours, pursuing improved prop rotor gearboxes with triple melted, refined steel components, standardizing aircraft configurations across the fleet, and redesigning key components to enhance safety and make the aircraft more sustainable, the Marines explained. Quote, "We cannot assume that because the MV-22B transformed Marine aviation once, its evolution is complete," said Swan. "It is our responsibility to carry this legacy forward and ensure this aircraft remains ready, relevant, safe, and lethal for the fight ahead. Concurrent modification plans will also provide continuous platform improvements," the United States Marine Corps noted in its 2026 aviation plan. Informed by the Center for Naval Analysis, or CNA, renewed V-22 aircraft modernization plan revamp study, the Marine Corps is pursuing additional modernization efforts to ensure platform relevance and reliability until the end of the V-22 fleet's service life, while at the same time developing and informing the requirements for the next generation assault support aircrafts, according to the aviation plan that the Marines put out this year for 26. The aviation plan offers scant details about the NGAS program, though increased range as well as greater speed to help get across the vast distances of the Pacific Ocean faster will be key considerations, especially with an eye toward a future high end in the Pacific against China, possibly in the future, right? That would suck, but yeah, World War III. The Corps has touted its ability to conduct long-range and long-endurance MV-22 operations in the Pacific region, but this represents recent significant challenges, difficulties, and resource requirements, especially when it comes to an aerial refueling. Those issues would only be magnified in an actual conflict against an opponent with substantial anti-access and area denial capabilities, right? So, the expected delivery of the Navy's final CMV-22 is the fiscal year of 2028, Navarre told the War Zone. Due to operational security concerns, a more detailed delivery schedule is not publicly releasable, the command added. The Navy will receive 53 CMV-22s in total, and 42 have already been delivered. The Air Force has received all 56 of its CV-22s, with the last one being delivered in July of 2025 last year.